filed lawsuit accuses Tyler Perry of an actor on one of the filmmaker's shows. Actor Dixon has sued Perry for $260 million.
Recently, Tyler Perry's name returned to headlines, this time tied to courtroom controversy. But longtime critics like Katt Williams and Terrence Howard have issued warnings for years. Even before legal battles surfaced, both actors publicly challenged what they described as broken promises, shady contracts, and a toxic culture hidden behind Perry's polished reputation.
Let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress.
So what exactly have they been trying to expose? And why is the broader industry only reacting now? Let's explore the details. It appears new tensions are rising, particularly with Katt Williams and Terrence Howard reportedly preparing to speak out. According to reports, both are ready to reveal unsettling truths about Perry's influence in Hollywood. The issue centers around a broader, controversial topic: the portrayal of black men in dresses on screen. Terrence Howard claims he wasn't just a bystander. He alleges he was directly affected by what he sees as a larger campaign to emasculate black male actors, with Perry at the center of it.
The people that want that, our entire world economy is based off of the politicians and the authority.
Rumors continue to circulate that Terrence Howard is reaching a breaking point over Hollywood's pressure to accept roles that challenge traditional views of masculinity. He's speaking out, reportedly frustrated with how the industry labels actors who resist. According to multiple accounts, Howard believes he's been branded as difficult to work with after refusing a role that required him to wear a dress. He sees it not just as personal pushback, but part of a larger industry-wide pattern. His concerns echo past statements made by comedians like Dave Chappelle and Katt Williams, who also question why so many black male entertainers are placed in feminized roles for mainstream visibility. Some might dismiss it as a conspiracy theory, but Howard appears convinced this pressure is real, and according to reports, he's even considering stepping away from acting entirely due to what he views as a targeted effort to blackball voices that challenge the system.
I'm not dropping names, I'm just giving credibility to what I'm about what I'm
never
saying.
drop names.
That Marvin was gay, and Marvin was gay. And I'm like, was he gay? And Quincy's like, yes.
Oh.
He went around.
There's growing speculation that Terrence Howard may have been sidelined for refusing roles involving cross-dressing. His stance has added fuel to the conversation about Hollywood pressuring black actors into controversial portrayals for broader appeal. Terrence Howard has remained in headlines over the years, but his acting credentials are widely recognized. During an appearance on Bill Maher's Club Random podcast, he shared how he once declined a chance to play Smokey Robinson in a biopic, calling it one of his biggest career regrets. At the time, he was reportedly in talks with Lee Daniels about portraying Marvin Gaye in a different biopic. However, he ultimately walked away from that role too, citing discomfort over rumored elements in the script related to Marvin Gaye's personal life. Howard said he couldn't go through with the portrayal and made it clear the role didn't align with his values.
You know, and when I'm hearing all this noise, man, it was crazy because there were no black people on television. Before diversity became a thing, Tyler Perry was the only one out there for a long time.
He also mentioned an early conversation with Quincy Jones during the project's development, further reinforcing his belief that some roles are designed to cross personal boundaries under the guise of storytelling. Marvin Gaye's sexuality has never been officially confirmed. He was married twice, first to Anna Gordy for a decade, then to Janice Hunter for 5 years. However, in a 2018 interview with Vulture, Quincy Jones claimed Gaye had romantic connections with actor Marlon Brando and others, including Richard Pryor. Jones described Brando as extremely charismatic and claimed he had relationships with several prominent men. These claims sparked renewed debate, especially after Terrence Howard's refusal to take on the Marvin Gaye biopic, citing concerns about rumored portrayals of Gaye's private life. Howard's comments led to a wave of criticism online. Some viewers considered his views outdated or offensive, pointing to past interviews where he shared controversial beliefs, including his stance on mathematics, gravity, and abstract science theories.
Take the vertebrae out of your back just to fit inside of someone's ceiling. You have to stand up full and proud, stand up erect. You know what I mean?
Critics began questioning why major platforms continued to offer him interview slots, suggesting that his statements often overshadow the core conversations around Hollywood, identity, and artistic representation. Following his recent remarks, social media erupted. Most reactions were critical of Terrence Howard. One user reposted red carpet images of Howard receiving cheek kisses from actors like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Paul Giamatti, suggesting a potential double standard in his statements. Howard has long argued that he was pushed into situations he found inappropriate and later blackballed after speaking up. That same concern echoes in a high-profile case involving Tyler Perry. Actor Dixon filed a $260 million lawsuit against Perry, alleging sexual misconduct and retaliation.
Not to mention the world, who has mixed feelings about homosexuality and the morality of it, and whether it's something that should be applauded or whether it's something.
The lawsuit, filed Friday, June 13th in Los Angeles, accuses Perry of fostering a controlling, inappropriate environment while Dixon worked on Perry's shows The Oval and Ruthless. Dixon portrayed a character named Dale. He claims Perry initially offered professional opportunities, including producing his pilot and additional roles, but allegedly became hostile after Dixon declined his romantic advances. The case has triggered renewed discussions about power dynamics in the entertainment industry and the challenges faced by actors who reject unwanted attention from those in authority. Dixon alleged that after rejecting Tyler Perry's advances, Perry began retaliating, damaging his career in the process. Perry's attorney, Matthew Boyd, responded by calling the lawsuit a setup. "This is someone who got close to Tyler Perry just to run a scam," Boyd told People. He added, "Tyler won't be bullied, and we believe these false claims won't hold up."
So we were sitting in the service, and I leaned up toward him and I said, "I've just been touched to give $1 million."
According to Dixon, Perry continued texting him in the months that followed, sometimes flirtatiously, other times offering professional opportunities and promising to transform his career. In November 2019, Dixon was given a small role in Ruthless. Then, in January 2020, Dixon claimed Perry assaulted him at his home. By February, Dixon said Perry offered him a regular part on The Oval. While reviewing the script, Dixon noticed that his character's future was left open-ended. The lawsuit claims Perry warned him that unless he responded to the flirtation or played along, his character could be written out entirely. By the end of his first season, Dixon's character Dale was shot 4 times in the chest. Dixon claimed this was Perry's method of exerting control, allegedly suggesting Dale's survival hinged on Dixon keeping Perry satisfied. After filming the scene, Perry reportedly invited Dixon into his trailer, where he allegedly pinned him against a wall and groped him aggressively.
Tyler Perry has been hit with a huge lawsuit from an actor by the name of Derek.
Dixon also alleged that another similar incident took place in October 2020 during a cast trip to the Bahamas, where Perry again reportedly groped him. By December of that year, Dixon sought medical attention for severe stress symptoms, insomnia, gastrointestinal problems, and low cortisol levels, believed to be the result of continued trauma. He was prescribed Zoloft, commonly used to manage anxiety and depression. Then in June 2021, Perry allegedly invited Dixon to his home under the pretense of discussing production on Dixon's pilot, Losing It, which Perry had previously expressed interest in. But according to Dixon, the visit once again turned inappropriate. Over the 5 months following the alleged incidents, Dixon reported suffering from severe depression, anxiety, stomach pain, and persistent nausea. He was eventually diagnosed with PTSD, During this time, he claimed individuals close to Perry, referred to in the complaint as fixers, tried to ease tensions by offering him a raise to remain on the Oval. They also allegedly promised that Perry would purchase the rights to produce his show, Losing It. In January 2023, Dixon said he informed Perry that he planned to move to California to create distance between them. He continued working on the Oval briefly, but exited before the final season. As a result, he claimed to have lost nearly $400,000 in potential income. Dixon is now suing Perry on multiple serious allegations and is requesting a jury trial with damages set at $260 million. Many believe this situation isn't entirely new when it comes to Perry. In 2023, actor Christian Keyes also came forward with claims about an unnamed billionaire. While Christian Keyes didn't identify the individual, internet sleuths quickly speculated he was referring to Tyler Perry during a December 2023 Instagram live session. Christian Keyes, an actor and writer whose novel Ladies' Night was adapted into the BET Plus series All the Queen's Men, recently spoke out about alleged abuse involving a powerful Hollywood figure. Though he didn't name anyone, many internet users speculated he was referring to Tyler Perry. Perry had previously cast Keyes in stage plays like Medea Goes to Jail and What's Done in the Dark, and also produced All the Queen's Men. In a video statement, Keyes described an incident where he said the individual attempted to enter his bed after a night of heavy drinking, stating he was 5 full Hennessy's down and staying at the man's home. He said the abuser knew he was heterosexual and took advantage of the situation, leading to a confrontation. Keyes alleged the man had several black people on his payroll, suggesting a pattern of influence and silence. Social media users began comparing Keyes' account with actor Derek Dixon's legal claims, noting striking similarities. Both stories involve allegations of unwanted advances, continued professional involvement with the accused, and no formal police reports. One user posted, "Remember Christian Keyes made this video about Tyler Perry allegedly last year? I recall a blind item saying he was paid off, but more people are coming forward." Another added, "Same story, different names. Where there's smoke, there's fire." Derek Dixon's claims against Tyler Perry are drawing comparisons to Christian Keyes' past allegations involving a powerful figure in Black Hollywood. Both accounts detail similar scenarios of harassment by someone they had worked closely with. Now attention has turned to another past controversy involving Perry and a man named Joshua Soule. Back in 2014, Perry filed a restraining order against Soule after an incident at his Atlanta studio in October 2013. According to Perry, Soule broke into the building by disabling security systems, crawling through ceiling panels, and locking himself inside an office. The studio had to be evacuated, and law enforcement took 4 hours to remove him. Soule was arrested and charged with criminal trespassing. Perry later filed a lawsuit demanding a restraining order, $100,000 in damages for harassment, $25,000 in legal fees, and mandatory counseling for Soule. However, rumors began circulating that Perry and Soule may have shared a personal relationship, and the alleged break-in was fallout from that connection. According to those rumors, the incident occurred after Perry allegedly ended the relationship. Soule's legal team denied all stalking claims and insisted he was being falsely accused. Then on May 13th, Soule filed a $10 million countersuit against Perry, Tyler Perry Studios, and supervisor Brett Hendricks. The lawsuit accused them of defamation and retaliation, escalating an already controversial legal battle. Joshua Soule claimed that while working as a production assistant in 2014, he faced repeated misconduct. His supervisor allegedly called him baby, made suggestive comments, offered favors in exchange for physical acts, and even said, "I miss you." When Soule reported the behavior to Tyler Perry, he claims nothing changed. Instead, the inappropriate conduct continued. In the lawsuit, Soule alleged that Perry created a hostile work environment and retaliated against him. He also accused Perry of battery, emotional distress, and defamation, pointing to a Facebook post where Perry allegedly labeled him mentally disturbed. The damages he sought totaled $10 million. Adding to the controversy, years before these legal battles, the animated series The Boondocks aired an episode widely believed to parody Perry's public image and private behavior. The episode sparked backlash. Rumors circulated that Perry tried to fire his staff and sue the show. While Perry denied those claims, the episode was mysteriously removed, and public speculation intensified. Now, with multiple lawsuits and resurfaced controversies, critics are drawing parallels and connecting dots long overlooked. Questions about alleged cover-ups, hush agreements, and strategic silence are growing louder. Perry once responded to earlier criticism, like Spike Lee's comments, by saying, "No response is the best response." But in light of these recent allegations, that silence may speak volumes. Tyler Perry's rise from Atlanta's local theater scene to a box office powerhouse through his Medea franchise is undeniable. But behind the success, controversy has followed. Speculation continues that Perry's ego may have caused friction, even with powerful allies like Oprah Winfrey. In an industry where success and survival often demand compromise, Perry's path hasn't been exempt from difficult choices and behind-the-scenes tension. Prominent filmmaker Spike Lee has openly criticized Perry for relying on what he sees as damaging stereotypes in his work. Lee, known for tackling social justice and cultural integrity in his films, challenged Perry's creative direction, arguing that caricatures harm more than they entertain, even when profitable. "I know it's making a lot of money," Lee once said, acknowledging Perry's financial wins, but not endorsing the artistic choices behind them. Comedian Katt Williams has also weighed in. Known for holding nothing back, Williams has consistently claimed Perry's empire wasn't built solely on talent and work ethic. According to Williams, there's a much darker undercurrent beneath the glossy Hollywood image. A system, he says, that rewards submission and punishes those who don't play along. Together, these voices paint a picture of an empire surrounded not just by lights and cameras, but by serious questions. It all came with a cost. From quiet power plays to accusations of mistreatment toward black men behind the scenes, Katt Williams' warnings were long dismissed as outrageous. But when considering the mounting lawsuits, sealed NDAs, and silence from former collaborators, those warnings begin to sound like buried truths rather than conspiracy. Terrence Howard, who's had his own history of clashes with Hollywood, recently revisited his past claims. He spoke on what he calls the masculinity shift in entertainment, not condemning identities, but exposing how influential men in power allegedly pressure others into uncomfortable situations, often using success and control as leverage. Yeah, and when Howard named names, Diddy was at the top of the list. But he didn't stop there. He referenced filmmakers with significant pull in Black Hollywood, producers with reputations for shaping narratives and careers behind closed doors. The implications were unmistakable. This isn't about canceling Tyler Perry. It's about questioning the industry machine he's supported and asking what the real price of fame looks like in Black Hollywood. Katt and Terrence didn't just rant. They signaled what many were too afraid to say. And now, that silence is starting to break. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, be sure to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss what's coming next.